Shemai guys, welcome to WWScenics. Episode 3, adding basic materials to the model, coming up after this. Right, like I said, we're going to start adding some of the basic materials, adding the textures to it now, right? And in front of me I've got sort of our sands, yeah, that's our sand basing kit, right, okay? It's got all different types of stones and textures and sands and stuff like that, right? I got extra sand, coarse sand here because this stuff is really good for riverbeds and stuff. I've got our rocks and pebbles. Some of them rocks and pebbles are going to be out to scale, but I can select which ones I want and we'll super glue them down. I've got glues then, yeah, some water, some a brush then to put the paint on, and we're going to add some textures coming down to here and up around here as well. I mean, so without delay, let's get on with it. Right? Okay. So the first thing I'm going to start looking at is the riverbed. Okay, right. And now I want fine up into here, and then coming down into coarse sand around here, right? Okay, and up around this embankment, I'm going to have a lot more coarser sand, right? So in here, in the sand basing kit, this is, we call this army fine sand, right? Really fine kiln dried sand, right? Really fine. Now, don't worry about the color, right? Because next week I'm going to be doing airbrushing, right? Okay. What I was going to do it this week, but I decided to do the texture first, right? Because I want to change, because the colors on it, go to a camera, that one there. See the colors on these, right? They're all different type of colors, right? I mean, that's a good natural color, but I want to change the colors because I want, so the resin, if I do resin and if I do our new product that I'm going to show off, right, that it's going to be crystal clear. So I want to show the color underneath it. So I'll change the color, and I'm going to change it like a grey, stony grey type color. I mean, that coming through. Right. So basically, all we need to do, right, is this is a tub of water, right. With just a tub of water that we need just to wash the brush, right, and our basing glue, and then make sure that we're correct, right. So this is not just for sand basing glue, just for static grass basing glue. It's basing glue for everything. And all I'm going to do is just put a daub down like that, right, and then paste it down, right, with a brush. Now this will go off quite quickly, right, this glue, and anybody who's seen my demos at any of the shows or watched them on the YouTube, you will know that I always say that this stuff is rocket fuel, right? You know what I mean? It goes off really fast. So work small areas, right? And then, like I said, we're going to put the fine down first. Okay, so all we're going to do, right, is literally out of the bag is just tip it down like that. Yeah. We will get rid of the excess, don't worry. And just keep adding the glue to it. I mean, we can go over the glue that we got there, right? So I've just gone over the sand now with our basing glue because I do want a bit of fine texture, but I still want some bumps and stuff like that on it, right? Stuff like that. Here we go. So uneven ground onto it, right? See? Okay. So I'm mixing the sand into the glue. Okay. So again, mix it down, and then pour a little bit. Just gently on there while they get the texture. There we go. Right, okay, now I'm going to swap now to the coarser sand. Okay, and I'm going to start coming out up here now as well. Right, because I want the coarse sand, because the coarse sand has got lots of little rocks into it, and I want that little rocks. So that's in here as well. Okay, and then same principle. Open the bag if you can. Yeah, then on camera, Kate, go that one there. There's the coarse sand. Okay, and then just grab some and sprinkle out, and then you'll start to see that the little stones, yeah, the texture it starts to give us is great. Okay, and it's going to make sure that they stuck on. And all we're doing is just sprinkling on again. Yeah, don't worry again if it goes down there, because we can do it come back up here a bit more. Sprinkle away. I mean, when this dries now, I'm going to leave it dry till tomorrow, and then I'll turn it over, and I will film it so Katie can do a bit of a short with it, and you can see then the amount that comes off. But again, you can just put it all back into your bag and then start again, that type of thing you want to. Fine, fine, there we go. Just to fill it up a bit. Right, okay, so there is some, that's the texture done of the where the water is going to flow. Okay, I got a bit of a bump that I want to get rid of, so just use a brush and brush it off, brush it down. There we go. Okay, if there is loose stones, and actually I'm not going to turn it over. I'm not going to turn it over, because if there are loose stones or sand, that haven't been glued down, it does not matter, because we are actually going to be one, there's going to be a lot of layering spray going on to it, right? Because obviously I'm going to be adding more texture and more grasses to it, and also I am going to be running down some sort of water down there, which will seal it in place anyway. Okay, so don't worry about the looseness. Yeah, just keep it flat now, don't move it around, you know what I mean? Right, so what we're going to do, the difference of stones now as well, right? Okay, so Kate, go to work on it. So in there you can see that we got jaggedy, these are jaggedy stones, right? Okay, so they will be lying out there, right? And then we've got our rocks and pebbles here, right? Which some of them, like I said, are a bit too big, and some are nice and small, right? Now they've smoothed, so they will go close or into the water, right? Okay, because that obviously they are, you know, I mean, they've been washed and washed and washed over thousands and thousands of years. Yeah, you know, we'll make some round. So I'm gonna just clean the brush now quickly. It's just normal water, okay. I'll clean the brush and then get up some paper towel just to dry it off, dry the excess water off, just like that. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to start placing some stones, yeah, some jaggedy stones. So I got a nice set some here actually, and then we got some natural slate then, right? Welsh slate, this as well, right? Best of the market. So what I want to do with the slate is I'm just going to tip it all onto the table like that, right? And I want to start doing a feature now. That, right? With me, I love slate because it's got natural. It's so natural. Yeah, and then you've got the sort of the lines there. You can see the lines in between there. Yeah, right, again, work on it. So I'm going to build a feature up here. Yeah, flat stone on top of flat stone. Yeah, on top of flat stone. That type of thing. I want to build that up, right? You know what I mean, and a few others. I mean that. Is massive, yeah, that's huge, it's too big, right? Okay, so I'm going to discount that. Well, that is a lovely, look at that, that's flat there, isn't it? And more importantly, is the detail on the edge of that, is that natural looking detail, you know what I mean, which, well, that's perfect, it sits there perfect, yeah, you know what I mean, and then you can build off that, you know what I mean, so you'd always have, so, you know what I mean, the craggy rocks, and I'm just looking now. And I am putting it on now, even though I'm going to be airbrushing it, right? Because I can bring this back to grey anyway and highlight it. But I'm also then going to be putting sort of like a moss effect through it as well, right, to start looking at it. So I'm happy with them, but I'm not going to put them on yet because first of all, actually, no, I am going to put them on first. I am. So I've changed my mind again. Again, this is all about like test fitting, and you can plan it if you want to. Some models like to do that, but it's like I said, it comes straight out of my head. So I'm now using our thick grade super glue and our activator. Yeah, because I'm in a rush. You haven't got to do that, right? You can use normal basing glue if you want to, right? But just plonk them it down in a well ventilated area, give it a squirt and plonk it on, and that will go off. Now what I'm going to do now is build then the other ones on top which I've lost. Yeah, and you've got to sort of test fit it as well, because you also got to make sure that it looks right. I mean, that's lovely. So plonk that onto there. Little squirt. Yeah, that's looking wicked. I love that. That piece by there. So there's a little indent by there where I've got it. And that looks lovely with that. Looks lovely. So we'll put that there. Right, let it go off. I'm going to put another piece on top of that. Where's jaggedy? Yeah, that looks stunning. So these details now, right? You might not be able to pick them up on straight away, yeah. But I know Kate will do some nice photography. Pretty good with the camera, yeah. And then we'll get it. We'll call it? For what is it called? Photography. We get it a nice photo. We've got a nice photo on here, you know what I mean, and we'll cut it into the film as well so you can see it.
I'll do a close-up video of it as well.
There are. We can do some close-up videos on, into it as well. Okay, so it is literally now I'm going to start looking for spots that we can just add some detail. Look at this one. Go to camera 2. Look at that. Can you see that? Look at the detail on that. See, this is why I love slate. This is where when I started doing modelling, I started doing the basis for our for models, yeah, for the goblins and orcs and stuff like that. And I used to put them onto slate rocks and stuff like that. Oh, it looks stunning. It does. It really, because it's so natural. Oh, and it looks really natural up there. Again, I'm looking on the camera. I can see that you're not going to be able to see that much, but we'll get it going. Again, and now we're adding real texture to it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Around here, you can see where you're probably not going to see it, but Kate will get it. But in there, you can see just underneath it where where it falls away. I'll get and round the back. You know, we can use our grass tufts. I'll stick a little bit of grass tuft in there to make it look like it's, you know what I mean, we'll blend it in. It will be blended in. We can put some, actually we can do that right now. So a little bit more texture, so we'll get the coarse texture, right? Okay, and we'll just add a bit of super glue. I'm going to put a bit of, sorry, no, we won't, not super glue, we'll put basic glue onto the lid by there. And then just carefully around it. And then all we're doing is we're blending that the slate into the ground. So just gently tap it out, and it's going to have small rocks around it as well, which you'd have that in nature. You know what I mean? We'll give it a good dollop on there, right? There we go. Nice. Okay, squidge it down. Okay. Excuse me. There we go. That's lovely. That's blended in lovely. So I'm just going to add some more now. I got a nice big dollop in there. When I said that this one was too big, that could fit. I know. Can you see that down there?
Yeah, you can see it.
That could fit into there. Maybe we can squish that down a bit more. Or do I want to maybe do that and then build the feature on top of it? Oh no, look, that's a lovely one. And this fits because it's sitting forward. It doesn't look. You can't see that upper detail that I want. Like over there. No, okay, I need something to go over there. Maybe this. This is a nice bit of detail. Yeah. Ah, that fits there, lovely. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit of glue over there. Plonk it in. Give it a squirt. Okay, so there's a slate, and I mean I'll carry on with the slate because it's going to be sort of, oh, I like that. That looks really smart with there, but it might not. But I'm also now going to start adding some more of the jaggedy stones. Yeah, some of the rocky type ones as opposed to the pebbly type ones now, right? Around, and obviously we're gonna build it up around the area that we've got. And it, I mean, some people will just want to plonk it in, plonk it down, and just get on with it. But then some guys, some of you diorama modelers, then they'll go, you know, you want to put this. This is where I start to get finicky, and I start to get like, oh, I need to have it right, and need to work at it, because I literally do hand pick most of the products that go on to you. You know what I mean? And make sure that it looks right, like that little stone, but up there now, yeah, cracker with it. Okay, super glue it, leave it go. But I've just done like one stone on its own, so let's put another one there. Yeah, because it's different angles. And we'd get that, we get you different angles and I mean, and different the way that they fall. You can have like a nice big rock there. So we put that into there, and then they're gonna maybe a nice bit of slate over the top of it like that. Whoa, that looks wicked. So let me put that back into there. So now we need a spot of glue onto there and a spot of glue onto there. Yeah, I know that looks like that it should have been there all the time. Now I know I've made it hard on myself to get under there, but that's right, I can get the airbrush. And I can also blow in, I can show you there, not where you can blow in a little bit, so you need a little bit of glue in there. Blow a little bit of grass or ivy or something like that underneath it, or a bit of algae, sorry. But you've now got a feature that you can look through it. Yeah, so when you look through there, you're going to see a little bit of the model. That's the stuff that I love doing on this now. This feature up here looks really wicked, but it needs more. It needs bigger rocks. Yeah, so I'm going to add more bigger rocks to it. Yeah, looks good. So again, I'm going to glue that all together. Put a spot of glue there for it. Put that on. Give it a squirt. And there we go. I can see a bit of super glue there that I've got, so we need to cover that. There's a nice big rock there, which fits lovely. So be quick because we've already put activate the spray there, so there we go. That's great. Okay, so it's just literally keep going now until we think, well, okay, that might be enough. I need some more up here to give those a bit of a feature. Yeah, we'll be picking these out as well with the highlight. I mean, because like I said, I'm going to be. This could be turn all brown all of a sudden, but then I'm going to show you then a dry brush technique that we do to bring out how it looks. And then picking up the detail with a dry brush, like so you go dark grey and then light grey and that type of thing. So just different sizes, different shapes. I want to put in. I'll put some up here. Again, it'll all be similar colour, but I'm just going to show you the different type of product that we got. Okay, some. We can do an extreme, maybe an extreme. Something like that, maybe. I'm just gonna have a look at this now, right? Because I normally love doing a feature then, as you know what I mean, sometimes. If I do that, think of that. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. A nice big rock standing up. Do you know what? I am going to go for that. I'm going to do it. I do like it. Because I've got, there's going to be sort of wood debris, you know, I mean, coming down. So we'll have branches coming off that. I might coat that type of thing. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I've got a lot more work on there to do. You know what I mean, which I can do over the next week, just to show you. You know what I mean. It's otherwise it's just going to be me gluing in rocks, and you're going to be soon fed up with that. So I'm just going to do a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I love like these type of features that we get. Then glue that one down. That's really, I'm chuffed with that now. You know, I would go even more of a feature and do, you know, I mean, that type of thing, but then I'm getting in towards Stonehenge. So I'm going to have a quick slurp of my coffee because the throat's dry, so bear with me. Now I'm going to go into rocks and pebbles, right? Okay, so this is round here now. And like I said, some of them might be a bit too big, but most of them are great. Most of them are lovely sized. Yeah, like that. Yeah, now you're starting to get the round edge ones, and they start to be big. So this is where we start to place them now. I know I'm going to put a load up by here because I want it to naturally flow down there as a barrier type thing, if you know what I mean. Here's some smaller ones. That's a nice one, but look. So it's going to be a natural barrier for the river, for the stream to go down, or river. It's a nice flat one. And a nice big one right in the centre over there, look. So get that glued up. Yeah, they're streaming in through there now, so it'll be, yeah, another one there. So it's got to be nice and big for it to stick out of the water, if you know what I mean. There's a big one. That can go right there. Yeah, that could be good. Nice big spot for that. And that could be streaming up over the top. So we could have a little water rapid for there if we want to. Just literally, yeah, and all we're doing now is just literally going to be pebbling it up. Make sure you know, obviously, if you're doing it flat, make sure you know which way where your water's flowing, because you want that. You've got to have that. You want to put the stones in the way that they need to be. They would naturally flow. I need some small stuff. So put some out. There we are. There's the small little stuff that I want. Okay, and that's going to go up to here. And I missed every single one of them. Because that's sort of going to be a curve, you'd have that stone build up. And selection sometimes is key to what you're trying to build. That one placement of stone will naturally bring it down, and it's starting to come up. The bank comes up here as well, which that wouldn't be there. So I'm moving that. Take that away. I just looked at it there and I went totally out of place. So don't be afraid to move stuff as well. Right, okay, so I've added a little bit more detail, and I've put some loose sand, gravel and sand down. So what we need to do now is to fix it down, and we're going to use our sand and gravel fixer. Okay, so this literally straight out the bottle. Yeah, onto the top of it. Just leave it drip down. Okay, it will soak in. Yeah, you can see it now naturally just soaking into the gravel. Okay, gotta leave it to dry. Right, leave it a good dry few hours. Don't put too much on; it will disperse through. Eventually, there we go. That's the run there now. Yeah, so I put a load up here. So we're gonna put a load there just to fix it up. And around here, there's some around here as well that I've done. So just to fix it up. And there's the big rocks down here that I've done. So, and you can see it running. It just runs straight through, straight out the bottle. Don't need to water it down in like that. It's done this job for it. A little bit around here. Okay, it will. It does look like it's pooling, but it will soak through. Move it around a bit, and again, don't worry about the way that it dries. Yeah, because I'm going to be airbrushing and repainting it anyway. And if I got too much, like I got a bit too much running down with there now, so all we do is just add a bit of gravel or sand. Yeah, leave it run, and then we can add the texture to it there. Just go over a little bit more. I'm going to come with a bit of fine down here, ever so slightly, just to get in there, so there'll be a nice texture on top of the stones in as well. Get a pat down. There we go. I think we're done. I'm going to blow that away. Yeah, that's a little more detail done. So just leave that dry now, and in a few hours it'll dry. I put the wrong cap on it. A few hours it'll dry, you know what I mean, and that's all fixed in place then. Okay, so really it is literally just me now placing rocks and stones, okay, you know what I mean, into areas where we want to. So just, you know what I mean, there's going to be a lot more texture going on. We'll fill it with a lot more texture. But next week, like I said, we're going to start doing some airbrushing, bringing in the colours. Yeah, again, don't worry about the stuff that we've already glued down. Like I said, we'll repaint it and make it look a little bit more, for them to stand out a lot more. It is literally building up the textures and building up the design now of what we're going to. It's going another step further. Yeah, it's starting to take shape, starting to look, you know what I mean. Now you can see the natural flow of the river that's going to come down, or the stream that's going to come down. Yeah, which that'll pop. You know what I mean, and over the next week, till next weekend, till next Wednesday, we'll you know, and I'll add some stuff, and if I am, I'll show. We'll put the cameras on so we can do a little short on it. But I just literally now looking at it now and planning out, right, okay, what am I going to do? Because there's obviously going to be some mud patches that I'm going to use our muds for. There's going to be some greenery, obviously, you know what I mean, we have to have green on it for the grass. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's going to be a lot more stones and foliages on it and stuff like that, as you say. But like I said, I'm not going to do a full video of just sticking stuff here, there and everywhere. It is how we do it. As I go along, like I said, I'll film it, do some quick shorts, and then I'll recap then on the next episode, just before we get into airbrushing. Any of you that watched my live doing the eagle diorama will understand that me and airbrushing don't get on. I am going to be doing weathering then as well, yeah, and using our rusts and as well as our earth tones, just to show you that what you can do, especially with the riverbed. Yeah, you know, because we want some sort of different colours and different tones in there as well. So yeah, that's it really. It's, like I said, I don't want to harper on too much about placing stones, because that's all we're doing really. You know what I mean? It's just, you can see how easy it is. It's just where you select it, that's the most key point. You know what I mean? You're not going to have one which is going to be stuck on a cliff, but there we know that's going to fall down. Like, you know what I mean? But on edges like that, where it just sticks out, we could place a good stone. And then we've got some of the big features going in, which we'll pick out once I pick these out and Kate gets some really good photos in. Yeah, you'll see all the fine foliages that I'm going to put in there, you know what I mean, which will make them pop as well. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. Stay tuned for next week. Make sure you share, like, comment, and do whatever else. Hit the bell icon and everything else that you're supposed to do. Join our social media on the group, and until then, have a nice week. Thanks very much. Bye bye.